Hello everyone, this is Venom, and we are here with another Destiny 2 video. I do apologize ahead of time. I'm very tired. It's 3 in the morning here. I just finished putting out a Dragon's Dogma 2 video. I'm trying to get as many videos made for Dragon's Dogma 2 and for Destiny 2 as I can. Some are going to be kind of backstock since this is going to be a period of time where I can't really put out a lot of content when the baby gets here. So I am trying to get ahead of that, so I've been staying up pretty late. But I was really struggling tonight because I was like, I don't want to put out 2 videos the same day, but I really need to talk about this End of the Light event. So, Hex and I talked about the End of the Light event, and we know that we're getting, the Brave Arsenal, the 12 weapons coming back for Destiny 2. A lot of them were sunsets, some are getting reissued, some are being reissued for like a tertiary time or a third time, whatever. But it turns out, we found out that they were going to be doing this. Someone put a comment in one of the videos I was watching and said Bungie's got a great talent for tripping at the finish line. The first week, no one was really feeling the event. No one was really feeling the activity we're getting. The second week was the exact opposite. I mean, people were excited about these weapons. We didn't get all the weapons I was assuming we were going to get. I thought we would get Kindled Orchard in there as well, but we got some pretty damn good weapons. I got the rules right here in front of me for some. Some of these are going to be pretty good. I'll tell you right now, Recluse is going to be back big time. Funnel Web is basically dead. Recluse is about to take its rightful spot back because it got destabilizing around. So Repulsor Brace, I can't wait. But that's not what we're really here to talk about today. Apparently, Bungie was going to do a Bungie. They were going to make this a timed event. Now, there are 2 things that Bungie's good at doing: making timed events and pissing out the player base. They did it again. So what they were going to do, they're going to initially release 6 weapons, and then they were going to slowly release the other 6, 1 week at a time, leading up to the final shape of the thing. They basically were time gating the weapons, and I have not seen a backlash this bad since, I don't think ever. Like, they got so much backlash. It ain't even been a day, I think, or it's been like just a day. And they've already said they're gonna release them all, I think, in April instead of releasing them slowly. I got to double check the exact dates here. Here we go. Here's a Twitter post here from the Destiny 2 team. It says, we've got updates on the rollout of the Brave Arsenal starting April 9th, plus some important callouts to highlight just how much loot you'll be swimming in Destiny 2 Into the Light. First up, we've seen the feedback on releasing an additional weapon each week after the first 6 drop on April 9th. We're condensing the schedule to release everything by April 30th rather than May 21st. Part of the reason that people were upset about this is that we're only going to have so much time in this event to farm those golden rolls, those, limited edition rolls. With them releasing weapons 1 week at a time, that means we were only going to have, like, whatever weapons released last, we'd have the least amount of time to farm for. And 2, the community is just we're tired of 2 gates. We're tired of the time gates, and we're tired of health gates. Those are the 2 gates you guarantee everybody hates in Destiny 2. Health gates and time gates. We're tired of them. But let me finish reading this off, and I'll talk about a little bit more about that. It says, we still think it's important to have fresh rewards to look forward to in the first few weeks, and we want to pack the first half of Destiny 2 into the light before we introduce more playable content in the second half. Let's talk about guaranteed limited edition variants and weapon drop rates. By completing our site's quest, you're guaranteed to get a curated limited edition variant of each weapon. The team has picked some hot perk combos for these, and they come with they all come with unique shiny visuals. So you're going to be guaranteed to get a shiny variant, but it's just going to be the curated roll. Does not mean the God roll. I think they said it's going to be like 80%. I'm sure the curated rolls aren't going to be what we want for the most part, but you're going to be guaranteed to get a limited edition one. It's just going to be the curated roll, though. You're still going to be able to farm for the others. So even if you don't have a lot of free time, which a lot of us don't, that's why we were upset about this timed event. But even if you don't have a lot of free time, you will be able to walk out of Destiny 2 Into the Light with a limited edition variant of all 12 brave weapons with excellent rolls and over a month to complete the straightforward quest. Earning your own limited gold edition roll is meant to be a very exclusive reward that should require some effort, which is why we wanted to make sure everyone can get at least one awesome limited edition variant of each weapon through quest. The weapon drop rates in Destiny 2 Into the Light will be among our highest in Destiny's history, even harkening back to the days of Season of Opulence. That's a pretty bold statement. That's going to be a lot of weapon drops, so makes me wonder how hard it's going to be to get the limited edition weapons outside the quest, but they're essentially telling us they're about to just fucking make it rain loot on us, and I'm all for it. Here we go. By tuning to specific weapons, you were greatly greatly increase your chances of it dropping from onslaught chests, and you'll be opening a lot of chests. Depending on how long you last, expect to earn several drops of the same weapon in a single session, especially on 50 wave runs. Okay, again, this is some big words. Or some bold statements. You can also use the weapon chest in your shacks in the Hall of Champions to get more weapons using trophies of bravery. These trophies will drop game-wide across core rituals, seasonal activities. So basically, they're going to drop from everything. They're kind of like seasonal currency does. So you're always earning progress towards more weapons as you're playing. They drop, or even more drop from onslaught, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so there you go. All 12 base brave weapons can still be farmed after Destiny 2, and as like concludes, we'll be moving onslaught over to a dedicated node in Vanguard Ops with the launch of the final shape, at which point you'll also be able to enhance perks on all these weapons. So all these weapons will also have their perks able to be enhanced. So you can't craft them, but you will be able to enhance the perks on some of these. And we will have even more content to announce for Destiny 2 Into the Light next week. So of course we're going to be seeing the next stream next week. Well, there's got one more part to the stream. So it is good hearing all this information, but like I said, most of what they already listed, we already knew about anyway. It's really just them saying, hey, we saw the horrific feedback that we were getting, and we're not going to release them all at once. I still think they need to release them all at once. I still don't like the idea of time getting it all. Granted, we're getting them all by April 30th, so that's like a couple, like every week or so, but that's still, I don't know how exactly, like maybe they're going to drop them all on the 30th, or maybe they're going to do like 2 a week or something. Regardless, they really got to stop time getting stuff in Destiny 2. Now, I know why they're time gating things, and that's so that they can stretch out content. Now, there are people that are complaining that whenever they finish an expansion or finish a season, because at one point seasons you could just kind of rush. But people will complain like, hey, you know, we've done all this content, we're doing the entire season, there's nothing else for us to do. But again, I think that's just part of the seasonal model. I mean, they were trying to put like, part of it was just was not a lot of content. Like I'm sorry, I am tired, I am blabbing a little bit. Part of the issue with the time stuff is that nobody wants to feel like they have to play the game like a job. That's not something I want to do. If I want to sit there and I want to do all the seasonal quests in one day, that's what I want to do. And maybe the only day I have to play. Like me, I got a kid coming, so I'm not going to be able to sit here and farm. Like some of these, even whatever's dropping April 30th, I'm not going to have time to farm these. I mean, I'm going to have a newborn then. So whatever's out on April 9th, that's pretty much what I'm going to be able to farm for about a week, and then that's it. So this is still kind of shitty that I'm not going to be able to farm all these weapons. Now, there are going to be quests, don't get me wrong, it's great, but I'm still going to be pretty busy, and a lot of people are going to be pretty busy, and I think Bungie forgets that most of their audience, or at least a huge chunk of it, were adults with lives and kids and jobs. So, I mean, we know we cannot play the game all the time as though it were a job. And that's where the timed events and timed quests really become a big issue. Now, there are people that complain like, yeah, you're going to do everything, and they complain there's no content to do. Well, no, we're not. I mean, yeah, there are going to be some people that do that are going to no-life the game and complain there's no content, but they're going to do that no matter what game they play. Now, there's also the objective fact that sometimes Bungie just puts out content, and there's not a lot of content. I mean, take any seasonal activity and take any seasonal story quest. Most of the actual story quest, or, you know, the actual story for that season can be condensed to less than an hour's worth of content, or an hour's worth of, like maybe 10 minutes worth of like cutscenes, or 10 minutes worth of actual story. Most of it's just doing whatever the seasonal request is, doing a bunch of fetch quests, and then getting a cutscene, and then we wait again a week for another thing. That's how the seasonal models worked. It's been a really shitty model. I'm glad they're getting rid of it, but it's not been very well received having time-gated anything in Destiny 2. Now, again, people will complain that they don't have anything else to play. That's great. Go play something else in the meantime. I mean, that's how every other game works. But live service games don't work that way, and that's why they've done that. That's why they've made that model, and that's why it's also failing, too, because nobody wants to engage with that. I don't want to sit there, a lot of my clan right now are waiting to come back to this season and do it all the last couple of weeks. They don't want to sit here and play for 6 months, or obviously the season's over now, but they're still going to come back at the end of the season and then do all that stuff in one shot instead of just slowly doing it week after week after week. Nobody wanted to do that shit. I mean, most of my clan is gone right now until the end of the season, or until the new expansion comes out. So, but yeah, that's my little ramble for this one. I did want to also go over some of these weapon rules too, so some of these are going to be pretty cool. I'm only going to go over a couple of weapons. You can check here. It's on Bungie.net. This is the Dev Inside Brave Arsenal. They go over some of the weapon rules. There were a couple that I saw that I definitely wanted to kind of show off that are going to be pretty damn cool. I can't wait. Let's see. So support Barons, I don't really care about. I've already got a pretty good roll on that one. I can't imagine it's going to be too much. It's going to be crazy on it, except for the new Origin perks. And some of these are going to have, the Origin perks are definitely going to help them out with a lot of them. Falling Guillotine, Rapport Weapon would be a nice one. Relentless Strikes, it's not too bad. Eager Age is coming out for it. Bait and Switch, Sword Logic, so those are going to be pretty cool to have on there. The big one that I saw is going to be the Recluse. So the one thing I would say was really holding back the funnel web was the fact that it didn't have Demolitionist on it, it didn't have destabilizing rounds on it, and it didn't have repulsor brace on it. I don't think. I got to double check and see what it had on it, but I don't think. I think mine has or Frenzy and something else on it, but it didn't have, the good perks on it. Now, I see, that's right, mine has Subsistence, and it had something else on it. But you can see on here, we got Subsistence on here, still a good one. We got Repulsor Brace, which is going to be putting up those Void Shields again. That's going to be perfect for my Invis Hunter. And then the big one is we got Destabilizing Rounds right there. That's going to be awesome. Now, we've also got Target Lock, Master of Arms. I mean, the fourth column is looking pretty insane here. We got Master of Arms. That's going to be a hard one to not choose over Destabilizing Rounds. I'll probably have to choose it over Destabilizing. I can probably, on my Hunter, can work without it. Because I can get I'll have all top rounds anyway, but definitely I'm thinking the Repulsor Brace with Master of Arms is going to be the role for me. It'll suck not having Subsistence, maybe go Subsistence and Master of Arms for another class, but Repulsor Brace with Master of Arms I'm definitely looking at. For the Mountaintop, we got Ambitious Assassin. That's going to be an interesting one. We got Lead from Gold. I think that's going to be the perk to go for this one. Auto-loading Holster, yeah, it's going to be good, but Lead from Gold, using this as a primary weapon is going to be a lot easier. For fourth, we've got the Rampage, we got Rapport Weapon, Adrenaline Junkie, One for All, Harmony, Recombination, and Frenzy. I definitely think either Rampage or Rapport Weapon is going to be the play for this one. Probably Rapport. I'm thinking Lead from Gold and Rapport, or maybe Ambitious Assassin. Ambitious Assassin is going to be a good one. Demolition is, the third column is cracked. I like this one. Auto-loading, Lead from Gold, Demolitionist, and Ambitious Assassin are all great perks. Fourth column is going to be pretty much, for me, it's a tie between Rampage or Rapport Weapon. Frenzy's alright, but I'm thinking Rapport Weapon or Rampage are going to be the ones I go for. Hammerhead, again, another good one. Third column, we got Feeding Frenzy, Destabilizing Rounds right there, another great one. Ambitious Assassin, another good one. Rampage, 4 times a charm for your PvE rolls, rewind rounds, under and over. For the fourth roll, I was a bit iffy on that one. We got Surrounded, High Impact Reserves. That could be a good one. Target Lock, another good one. So I think about this is pretty good too. This is a pretty good one. Killing Tally. So yeah, it looks like Hammerhead is also coming in with some pretty strong perks. Now you could easily do like a ad clear build versus a boss build on this one. I'd say if I was going to go for ad clear, I would definitely take Destabilizing Rounds and then probably, maybe High Impact or Surrounded. One of those two. If I was going to go for boss rounds, I'm definitely going 4 times a charm and Target Lock. Now, I don't know how much it's been nerfed right now. I haven't tested it out too much, but I would definitely take 4 times over rewind rounds because that actually takes ammo from your pool. 4 times is actually just going to spawn the ammo. And then Target Lock, obviously, the longer you attack or the longer you do precision damage, the higher the damage is going to go. Okay, we got Blasphemous, Edge of Transit, Luna's Howl. That's the other one I'm really curious about. So, of course, we got on now this one. There's only one roll I really want to get on here, and that's going to be Magnificent Howl and Heal Clip. And then both of them are basically going to work off of reloads, so that's why I am so interested in it. But it does have, for third column, the Storm, Subsistence, Discord, Encore, Slide Shot, and Line Action, and Heal Clip. So, Slide Shot I can see working for PvP a little bit. For fourth, we got Magnificent Howl. Kill Clip, Incandescent, Desperate Measures, Opening Shot, Precision Instrument, and Harmony. Like I said, Magnificent Howl and Heal Clip look like they're just going to go hand in hand. That's for PvE. Now, there is a note here, and I was wondering about that as well. It says, it didn't make sense to ship Not Forgotten in this release, but we're on the lookout for a good opportunity to bring it back. I thought Not Forgotten was going to release in this one. I think that's what they originally said, but I guess they decided not to do that. And I think they said that was going to be a PvP weapon, a PvP drop, so we'll see when we get that. They may release it later on in the release, or they might do it once Final Shape comes out. Who knows? Now, the last two I'm interested in, Midnight Coup and the Hung Jury. Now, I didn't play hand cannons too much in the beginning of Destiny 2, but I know this is a really popular one, so let's see what we got. For third column, we got the Onslaught, Firefly, Shoot to Loot, Explosive Payload, Looming Target, Attrition Orbs, and Enlighten Action. And for fourth column, we got Rampage, Kinetic Tremors, that's the big one. Zen Moment, One for All, Opening Shot, Frenzy, and Desperate Measure. So this could be a pretty good role for both PvE and PvP. Kinetic Tremors is a very good one. It does a lot of damage, even in Grandmasters. That Kinetic Tremor is a real good one to have. I love having that. I use it on my Hung Jury all the time. Rampage, I can see that working in PvP pretty good. And again, when I say I can see it working in PvP, I don't PvP a whole lot. I know what a lot of the perks are that are used in PvP or have been used historically. So bear with me if I'm calling out perks that I say look good or good, but are not necessarily good for PvP. I don't PvP, so I can't, or I don't do it much, so I can't tell you what the metas are for those. I just got a rough idea of them. For third column, I don't know. I like the idea of Explosive Payload and Kinetic Tremors, but I really don't know. Shoot to Loot I like more in scouts than anything. If I'm using Shoot to Loot, I'm far away. I'm probably needing that on a scout rifle more than a hand cannon, but I guess it still works. Fourth column is really where this thing works for me. I mean, the third column is alright, but the fourth column perks are really the good ones for me. And then finally, the Hung Jury SR4. Now, even though I've already got a God Roll for me for my Hung Jury, I've got the Adept Hung Jury. I still want to go ahead and get this one too. Now, something I noticed in this one, two of the perks are switched, and I gotta go through them here. For third column, we got Rewind Rounds, that's a new one. Enlightened Action, Kinetic Tremors, Rapid Hit, Shoot to Loot, No Distractions, and Loose Change. For fourth column, we got One for All, Cascade Point, Box Breathing, Firefly, Precision Instrument, Desperate Measures, and Explosive Payload. Kinetic Tremors is in the third column on this one, and it's in the fourth column for the Nightfall version, so that's interesting. The roll I've got has got Shoot to Loot and Kinetic Tremors on it. And that's the one I use for Nightfalls whenever I can get away with using a scout rifle. That Shoot to Loot helps a lot, especially if you're standing in like a cheese spot or something. You get some heavy ammo that might drop, that helps a lot. Kinetic Tremors just does great damage, and helps clear out enemies, and it's really good. I like them both on the roll. It's interesting that they're both going to be in third column perks for this one. That pretty much is going to take over anything like Rewind Rounds or anything. I definitely wouldn't be using that. It would be more likely Kinetic Tremors would be the big one on that one. I don't see maybe Rewind Rounds, but really not worth it. You can just reload. It's an infinite. I mean, it's the primary weapon, so Rewind Rounds really don't have a place on there. It's not like you need ammunition. You just get a reload perk and you're fine. So Kinetic Tremors definitely for the third one. For fourth, I don't know. I could easily see Firefly working, but it's not really going to be... See, Firefly could be great for rid bars to get that extra explosion damage, and then Kinetic Tremors for, bigger enemies. So both of those would be pretty good damage perks, and they would both work against all enemies pretty much, and then, or they could both, each perk would work against different enemies. And we got Explosive Payload, that's another one. That's a pretty good one for distance. I mean, no matter what, with Explosive Payload, half your damage will be explosive. So no matter how far you're back, you're going to do at least a little bit more than half the damage you can do. So there's only so little damage, or so much damage you can lose by being at a distance. So, but yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. That's what's going on with the Brave Arsenal right now. Like I said, I just happened to look it up today. I've been really busy, and I happened to check out what people were saying about the time gating stuff, and holy shit, like, I think I saw an Azzacross video where he was talking about the time gating, and then I looked, like, maybe a few hours ago, and every single outlet, every single Twitter, like, every comment is like, stop with the time gating bullshit, and they immediately have gone back on it. Now, it's still time gated, it looks like. I still don't necessarily like the compromise, but it looks like everything's coming out in April instead. Like I said, to me, I need everything out to begin with. I'm not going to have time to play like that once my son's born, but we'll see. I'll try and get some rolls in there. At least I can get the guaranteed ones from the quest, even if they're not the God rolls I want. That's going to take quite a bit of time to farm those. So, but that'll do it for today's guy. I'm so tired right now. It's almost 3:40. It's almost 4 in the morning. I got to get going. But that'll do it for me for today, guys. If you like what I did, like it. If you love it, sub. See you guys on the next video.